Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and you can't make this stuff up, folks, as this article says. Coronavirus. Wuhan lab that researches COVID-19 will not be visited by World Health Organization investigators looking into origin of virus. Epidemiologists to focus only on idea novel virus naturally jumped species. I don't even know what to say. We'll get into this and more in this video today, but make sure to hit that like button, share on social media to get around the shadow banning, and more importantly than ever, join us on the alternatives like Flote.app, BitChute, Minds, and Library. We will not be on YouTube long. We're leaving by November 5th of 2020, only posting trailers after that point. Our friends at Press for Truth were recently terminated from YouTube, among with countless other people that were purged recently, so we have to get off this platform before they kill us. Also, join our newsletter at www.iambanned.com, all linked below, and we are completely viewer funded because we went against the World Health Organization, which apparently goes against the community guidelines here on YouTube. So we got demonetized. So make sure to check those links below for ways that you can donate to GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar. We are 100% viewer funded, and we count on you guys to be able to spread the message of freedom and truth worldwide going forward. Anyways, let's get into this article. As I said, coronavirus, Wuhan lab that researches COVID-19 will not be visited by World Health Organization investigators looking into origin of virus. And as the article says, a coronavirus research lab in Wuhan, the Chinese city where COVID-19 first emerged, will not be visited by the World Health Organization investigators looking into the origins of the pandemic. How convenient. WHO is sending a mission to Wuhan in Hubei province, but has said investigators will be there only to advance the understanding of animal hosts for COVID-19 and ascertain how the disease jumped between animals and humans. The statement appears to rule out a visit to the Wuhan Institute of Virology and suggests the body has already discounted the possibility the virus may have been cooked up or modified in the lab. Bosses at the WHO have also declined to provide details of places its investigators will inspect or the people they will meet. However, it is understood Chinese authorities will monitor and limit all movements. It had previously emerged the lab had held coronavirus sample that was 96.2% the same as COVID-19 for almost a decade. This prompted speculation about the origin of the virus, despite scientists overwhelmingly believing the genetic code of the virus suggests it mutated naturally. No, they don't. They do not overwhelmingly agree on that. Anyone that's actually studied this, countless infectious disease experts, immunologists, virologists, epidemiologists have come out about this. Countless bioweapon researchers and experts have come out about this, especially considering the strange side effects of the virus that include, the bumps on kids' tongues and what we saw in Britain, the loss of the sense of smell or taste when people get the virus. I mean, these are very, very strange things that come usually from bioweapons. And let's be very clear about this. Let's be very clear. Dr. Fauci, who runs the Institute for Allergies and Infectious Disease, has got millions and millions and millions of dollars in U.S. government grants to study the coronavirus in bats at the Wuhan Institute of Virology from 2015 to around 2019, which was, again, 96.2% prevalent to the novel virus. And to be clear, the whole study went into how they could spread it to humans. They left out that part, didn't they? I think that's a pretty important part of the story, isn't it? And now Fauci's involved. Well, he was involved loosely with Event 201 funded by Gates, but also is the guy involved in the lockdowns in the United States, like the expert. I mean, this is overwhelmingly ridiculous, my friends, and we should all be calling this out. I mean, how much more evidence do you possibly need of collusion? The World Health Organization, headed by Tedros, who it was one of the heads of the Communist Party in Ethiopia, which is heavily taken over by China, like most African countries, is bowing down to China, like many agencies of the United Nations, also funded by Bill Gates, who has worked with China for years, bow down to China, technocratic, fascio-communist state of China, where they have clearly created massive amounts of bioweapons alongside with help from the United States. This isn't a competitive issue. The U.S. has been aiding and abetting this kind of stuff. For years, going back to Henry Kissinger meeting with Mao Zedong and the creation of the Trilateral Commission under Zbigniew Brzezinski during the Jimmy Carter administration. It's all about being able to spread the influence of China worldwide. The IMF has talked about basing their headquarters in Beijing for years. China is now taking over Hong Kong completely, and most of the world bows down to China, or else, because, well, what's or else? Because they know China is about to become the new world order, the new world superpower. They sort of are. And it's been a puppet state for fascio-communist totalitarianism for a very long time. Now, World Health Organization is heavily subsidized by China. Of course, the United States has just pulled out of the World Health Organization, pulled the funding, which is great, but I think there's a lot more to the story, as I talked about, because the funding was immediately replaced by China, and of course, Bill Gates' funding into the World Health Organization is huge as well. The fact that they're doing this investigation, that anyone even would trust them worth a damn after everything they've said and done. Asymptomatic people spread it. Actually, never mind. Asymptomatic people don't spread it. Oh, it's a 3.5% to 7% death toll. Actually, never mind. It's a 0.26% death toll. And with the CDC study recently, 0.26% death toll. If you take out nursing homes, it's 0.2%. If you take out people over 50, it's 0.1%. If you consider asymptomatic cases, it's 0.04%. And that considers all people who have gotten it, your chances of dying. Now, if generally speaking, your chances of dying then without having it initially is 0.002%. And the numbers are faulty. They're counting 100% of tests positive in Florida in many of the medical facilities, which is completely fraudulent. And they are calling anyone with any kind of exosome someone that has coronavirus. Remember, the guy who created the test for coronavirus in the first place says that it only tests for exosomes. It does not test for coronavirus. Anything that you might have that might be similar in any form to a virus or a viral issue of any kind that you may be asymptomatic to but have in your system, which people have all the time, would be tested positive. It's just, and with this, they've destroyed millions of livelihoods. 28 million people are set to possibly be homeless in the United States, which is like 9 out of 100 people. Every 100 people. It's insane. It's ruined so many lives, and it'll cause another health crisis. And they're just perpetuating this stuff, perpetuating, and they're getting off on fear. And of course, we're not allowed to talk about this stuff. Again, we got demonetized for going against the World Health Organization here on YouTube. You see the shirt here, the revolution will not be YouTubed, and you guys can find that on our Teespring store, by the way, along with a bunch of other stuff. But nonetheless, at what point do we not realize this has all been a lie? It's all been a lie, and I'm supposed to believe that they still don't. The science on masks just came in this year. Earlier this year, the World Health Organization said wearing a mask is stupid. So did the CDC. So did Fauci. And then suddenly it's mandatory by law in most states, where if you don't, you can get cited, which is completely unconstitutional and not lawful. But anyway, that's what we're dealing with. Totalitarianism, tyranny of the highest order. And they've brainwashed people into being not only dependent and bow on their knees with the chains they revere and accept their enslavement with open arms, but also become Karens and yell at anyone who dares question the narrative. Anyone that dares for a second say that maybe there's something more to this story. We're selfish, we're psychotic, we're crazy, we're stupid, we have low IQ. I mean, non-maskers, they're saying, anti-maskers. Like, it's a dirty word. I have asthma. If I wear a mask, I'm coughing, choking, and I end up possibly getting pneumonia. And I have chronic asthma. Some people have different kinds of asthma that are okay when you wear a mask, whatever. And honestly, yeah, I mean, N95s wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't have that issue with an N95 mask, but I would with a cloth mask, and that's what most people are wearing. And they barely help because plumes come out both sides. We could go into this. PhDs have gone into this. There's countless studies that prove that they do not work like they say, as well as the social distancing thing. You have to be 45 feet away from people for a social distancing to actually work. Not 6 feet. 6 feet is based on a science project from a high schooler in the 90s, I believe, that people have just repeated over and over again, accepting without doing any actual proper scientific research into it. It's ridiculous. Just seeing all the lives ruined, it's just, people have to walk around Las Vegas, where I am right now, with a mask on outside in 115 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like 50 degrees Celsius. It's just ridiculous. It's insane. But we can perpetuate this, and then we see obvious corruption like this. That article came out 3 days before I did this video, maybe 4 days before you see it. And what? That's not breaking news everywhere? That Obvious corruption right there. World Health Organization not going to investigate the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Strictly accepting that it's naturally created. It definitely isn't. It has every sign of a bioweapon. And it's very suspect what's going on. And if we don't call that out, then we will just go down with the ship. So I hope that everyone continues to stand up against this insanity. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And we're going to see panic buying soon too, due to fear, based on fear that's been perpetuated and scripted by the media and by the government and by the supply chain, by these big companies that are complying with this whole thing, or part of the fear mongering. I don't know how much more of it I can take. I don't know how much more of it you guys can take. We'll have to decide on that soon. Anyway, I hope everyone hits that like button, shares this on social media, and because we're viewer funded and demonetized, make sure to check those links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar. We cannot do it without you, my friends. Also, we are leaving YouTube very soon, so join us on Flote.app, BitChute, Library, Minds, especially Flote.app and BitChute and Library. That's where we post on. I actually post more on Flote, I think, than most social media networks generally. And I'm being threatened to be kicked off Facebook at the same time as YouTube. So they're just taking down my videos. They took down Press for Truth's channel recently. Stefan Molyneux, Max Egan, David, just so many people. And it's time to leave. We have a Cointree link there where you could donate in crypto and our Bitcoin address, or at our Cointree link with a bunch of different options of cryptocurrencies you could donate to. And of course, join our newsletter at www.iamband.com. Come see me at Jackalope Freedom Festival in Arizona right away. I hope you do. And I'm speaking at an event that Colin Cantrell is putting on in Arizona as well right away. So I hope you go see me there. I'm homeless and nomadic, and it's a freeing feeling, but at the same time, it would be nice if I was able to properly afford to live. So anything you guys can do to help keep this media up and running so we can continue to call out these snakes is really, truly appreciated. Pledging makes a big difference. Just $1 or more a month makes a huge difference. Anyway, appreciate everyone watching today. And until next time, be vigilant, my friends. This is Josh Sigurdson signing out for World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. My friends, it is go time. We are completely demonetized on YouTube, and we depend on the viewer to stay alive and spread the message of freedom and truth. So check those links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar, anything you guys could do to help keep independent media alive helps enormously in helping spread this message to the masses. So make sure to check those links. Donate to our Bitcoin address on the screen or below. We really appreciate anything you could do to keep us alive. You could check those links below for Cointree as well, where you can find other cryptocurrencies that you can donate and keep WAM alive. Find us on Flote.app, Flote.app, as well as BitChute and Library and Minds. We're on all the other platforms. We are leaving YouTube soon, so make sure to find us at those sites, because it's the only way we can keep talking to you, the masses, the great people that actually care about the future of free humanity. Also, join our new newsletter at www.iamband.com. Anything helps at this point, guys. We need to support free information online. This is the most difficult time in our history, and it takes a lot of hard work to keep our message alive in the face of great evils that have taken over the propaganda news on television as well as on YouTube, where YouTube decides what you can or cannot see. We need your help, my friends. So I really appreciate anything you guys can do. Check those links. There's many ways you can help. Until next time, though, thanks, everyone. This is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.
Wow.